Hello. Today we're going to be training in how to submit invoices in VIP's Invision software. From the Invision URL, I'm going to use my email address and my password to log in. And once I log in, this takes me to the dashboard. On the dashboard, I have my user menu at the top right-hand side. I can see my message center and any messages I may have from people who've reviewed my invoices. I have the ability to edit my profile, change my password, or log out. On the left-hand side, I have my main menu. Dashboard is where we are at now. I also have another ability to access the message center. From the message center, any messages you've received from reviewers on an invoice, you'll be able to see here. Simply click the message and it will open up and you'll be able to see the message they sent you, any responses that you've sent them, and back and forth. This works very similar to an instant message. To respond, just simply type your message here and hit send message, and you'll see the next response in the list. For those who have reporting functions, simply click the report that you'd like to print. And on the report page, you have filters and selections up at the top. You can sort by date range, invoice status, adjuster's name, state, loss type, and who submitted the invoice. Once you've made your selection in the filters bar, click Show Report. Your report will populate and you'll be able to see it here on the screen. If you'd like to export this report, click here, select the file format you would like, and then click Export, and it will be downloaded to your computer. From the dashboard, I have a search bar here at the top. This will allow me to search any invoices that I've submitted by claim number or invoice number. I can also filter the invoices that I see here by status. Maybe I would like to see if I have any invoices that I've submitted that are under review. I could click these statuses to sort just by that status. As we can see, currently I have no invoices that have been rejected or under review, but I do have several that are submitted and awaiting payment. Once you select an invoice, you'll see here on the right-hand side the basic invoice information, the claim, the loss information, the insured's information, the estimate amount, and the invoice total. Once you've selected an invoice and it appears here, you can enter an email address here, click the envelope, and it will email a PDF version of that invoice. You can also select the blue download button here to download a PDF to your computer. If in the Message Center, you receive a message that asks you to make changes to an invoice, on the dashboard, select the invoice that you need to make a change to. And down here at the bottom, you have a couple options. New is to create a new invoice. View will open the invoice up so you can see it. And Edit will allow you to edit this invoice. I'm going to click Edit. And once I've selected Edit, it's going to open the invoice up for me. And I have my unit of measures and flat fees that I've added to this additional invoice. And for this example, we'll say that the reviewer asked me to remove the contents handling charge. By simply unclicking that box, I'll be able to take that off. Maybe they've asked me to bill a rope and harness or remove an outbuilding. I can make those changes here by simply changing the quantities. Once I've made any changes that have been requested, if I scroll down and hit Calculate, it will recalculate my invoice based on the changes that I've made. Then I can hit Submit and it will resubmit that invoice. To create a new invoice from the dashboard, click New. It's going to take you to the claims search page. At the claims search page, we're going to use the manual claim button to enter our claim information. I've entered my claim number, my policy number, my insured's first and last name, the address. I'm going to select my state, enter my city, and anywhere there's a drop-down list, you can start typing the word that you're looking for, and it will take you to that area of the drop-down. I'm going to enter my zip code and then my date of loss. For calendar functions, by clicking on the calendar icon and then clicking on the month, we have the ability to select a month. We can also click the year and select the year. My type of loss, and my gross estimate amount. The last thing I need to enter is my inspection date. By clicking this plus sign here, it'll give me the ability to go down and select date inspected and enter that inspection date. You can also use the back and forth arrows as well. Once all of my claim information is entered, I'm going to click Save. And this takes entering my invoice number and then selecting my assignment type. Once I've selected my assignment type, I can select the assignment category. And then I can enter my adjuster's first and last name. As I fill out this information here on the left, I'll see my invoice populate on the right. Here I can see the claim information that I entered, and now I can see my assignment information as well. I can also see here my gross estimate amount, and the field fee was automatically calculated based on the assignment that I chose. When I scroll down on the left-hand side, I see under Unit of Measures, any components I can add based on quantity. And on the right-hand side, I see any flat fees that I can add simply by checking these boxes. For this invoice, I'm going to add a Coverage A exterior and a contents handling. On the unit of measures, you will need to enter a 0 for each quantity to make sure that you take a look at each one. And then anything that you need to bill, just enter that quantity in the box. So for items I don't need to bill, I'm going to enter a 0. I will say that this invoice, I had to do 2 outbuildings, so I'm going to enter a 2. And then I'm zeroing out the rest of them. Once I've made all of my selections, I've entered my quantities and selected my flat fees, I scroll down and hit Calculate. This will calculate my invoice. I can see my field fee, the options that I chose here from the flat fees, and I can also see that it added my outbuilding for my invoice total of $450. My invoice looks good and I'm ready to submit it. Down at the bottom, I have a few choices. Submit will submit the invoice and take me to the dashboard. Submit in New will submit the invoice and take me back to the claims page where I can enter my next claim. Cancel will cancel everything I've entered and take me back to the dashboard. And Reset will reset the information on this invoice, but leave me on this claim so that I can start the invoice over. I'm going to select Submit. And now I can see that my invoice is submitted. My invoice information is here, and I've completed my invoice.